boxing fans, welcome to another edition of Boxing for Real. I'm your host, Don Omega, Iron Truth. Let's do this. Okay, it looked like a great weekend of fights again, good week of fights. We had first Friday night, Evander Holyfield is back. He looked spectacular against a crappy opponent, no doubt. But the fact is, this is the first time he's looked spectacular in years.
Long time.
Second round knockout of Jeremy Bates. Who? Jeremy Bates? Who knows? He doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Point is, Evander Holyfield finally looked good again.
Yeah.
He was mustacheless. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. Maybe the curse of the mustache. But anyhow, he won, looked spectacular, looked healthy again.
Holyfield.
And he wants to still unify the titles.
Yep, still wants to do that, and I tell you, he has his best chance right now with these four champions that are in there. I would love to see him do it. If that's what it's going to take, I'll take it. I'm not a Holyfield fan, really. I respect him as a fighter, of course, but anyway.
Sure, he's a good fighter,
yeah.
But I don't like him.
Yeah, exactly. He looked great against Bates. He put his punches together perfectly, let his hands go a lot more than he has in a long time. Speed was there, looked very impressive. Now looks to fight Sinan Samil Sam in November sometime.
That'd be a logical step up.
That'd be a good step up.
That he said he wanted to fight a top 10 guy. Just to reiterate how bad the heavyweight division is, that would probably be at least a top 15 guy.
Yeah, he probably is.
And
unfortunately.
Yep, so if Holyfield can get that win and get maybe one more win, he might be ready for some kind of fringe title shot, one of the title holders at least.
Yeah.
Like maybe Nikolai Valuev, but he shouldn't have that belt anymore at that point.
After October 7th.
He shouldn't have that belt, but we'll see what happens with that.
Absolutely.
And we'll keep you posted on Evander Holyfield. Also on that undercard was Julio Cesar Garcia, looking spectacular again. Young kid, only had about 45 or so fights.
40,
and
yeah. So
he's 19.
19, that's it. This kid has it all. He has patience in the ring, which is very rare for a 19-year-old. Of course, not that surprising since he has had so many fights. But very experienced already, got a long ways to go, and he's going to be right there on top one day probably. So
probably, who knows what weight, because he's
still growing. Probably, yeah.
And we'll see what happens with that. Good luck to him. We really looking forward to seeing this guy, and he could be the next Chavez for all we know.
Yeah,
who knows what the limit is on him, or he might get knocked out as soon as he steps up. We'll just have to wait and see. Also, the big fight this weekend was Paul the Punisher Williams destroying Chambray Mitchell in only 4 rounds.
4 rounds.
Chambray Mitchell, who has already fought Floyd Mayweather Jr., for those of you out there who didn't know that. Floyd Mayweather Jr. knocked him out in 6 rounds. Tszyu knocked him out in 3 rounds. And Paul the Punisher Williams, 4 rounds.
Yeah. Great performance by Williams. Tops his last performance because this was against a much better fighter. I thought Mitchell might give him some trouble with his slick movement.
And Mitchell actually came out aggressive, and he was landing some good shots.
He did land a few. I thought he would box more.
The first couple rounds, he actually didn't look terrible. He actually looked okay. And then the third round, he got dropped, and it started.
Fourth round, he got dropped 3 times in that round.
At least.
Yeah. And Williams, of course, threw his regular amount of punches.
Really, it looked more like 4 or 5 knockdowns to me, but I'm not sure.
Didn't get counted.
I'm not sure how many actually got counted out of that. It was pretty bad, though. The referee could have stopped it earlier than he did. Yeah. And Mitchell almost made it out of the round somehow. Yeah,
Mitchell, of course, showed heart in this fight. He kept getting up. He wanted to continue. He's pretty much done, I think. He can beat the low-level guys, of course.
Yeah,
but every time he steps up, he's not going to do it anymore.
Unfortunately, he was still talking about fighting after this fight. He's claiming he's going to be the champion again, sounding like Evander Holyfield. Holyfield has shown it's not impossible to come back and look good, especially if you fight a guy like Holyfield fought.
Yeah.
But Nonetheless, it's time to get out while you can before you get seriously injured, Mitchell. And
he took a lot of flush shots tonight against Williams.
Paul Williams let his hands go. You actually didn't think he was going to be able to
I did not.
get his punches off like
I didn't think he would be able to throw as many because I thought Mitchell would be kind of dodging and would give Williams something he had never seen before in his career. Mitchell, of course, clearly the best fighter Williams has fought by far, and I thought Mitchell, with his slick movement, would give him some awkward angles for Williams to deal with, but Williams
didn't happen that way.
Didn't matter.
Mitchell actually just rushed in and was trying to get inside more than
than
trying.
Wrong fight, definitely.
He instead of staying on the outside or trying to get in with technique, he just rushed in with punches, and that's not the way to go, especially when you have the knockout ratio of someone like Shumbry Mitchell. And especially whenever Williams in his last fight against Matisse was taking some flush shots from him and was not going down, wasn't even seeming affected at all by them. And Mitchell, wrong strategy. It's time to hang him up. Now Paul Williams, wanting to fight Margarito, called him out on national TV this time. Margarito, nowhere to run to, nowhere to hide. Paul Williams, the Punisher Williams, coming after you. Fight him. He's your mandatory. He's WBO mandatory.
That should be the fight December 2nd for Margarito to keep his title instead of Josh Clottey. Paul Williams will knock out Margarito. I have no doubt.
If they fight. I actually see it like this. I think Josh Clottey's going to win the WBO title. Then Williams will end up fighting Josh Clottey, which that would be a hell of a match.
Williams, I think, will beat Josh Clottey also. Not too many people I would pick against Williams right now. He throws an amazing amount of punches, very skilled. What can you say? He's a top fighter right now. So he's done more in his career right now than Margarito has in his. He beat Shumbry Mitchell in devastating fashion. Margarito never has pulled off a win like that against a top fighter. Well, he's never fought a top fighter, so that'd be kind of hard.
The closest thing is Kermit Cintron.
And, that's a prospect who was untested completely, besides the one fight with Teddy Reed. So take that for what you want to, but Margarito will get knocked out by Williams if he fights him.
If he fights him, and even if he doesn't get knocked out, he'll get thoroughly embarrassed.
Definitely.
Best case for Margarito.
Absolutely.
And he'll do everything in his power to not get this fight, I really believe. And he's proven that. He's ducking 10 other people or not willing to fight them for whatever reason. And who's he going to fight December 2nd? Matisse's cousin? Come on. Fight someone real, Margarito. Maybe then you could gain some respect, gain some reason to actually fight someone like Mayweather, which you have no reason to fight someone like Mayweather. You're just looking for a payday. And
it'll be your last.
I don't know why you'd get a much bigger payday beating other people. I guess you can't actually beat them, so you're just getting the biggest payday you can.
Right away. Trying to get it right away.
And Bob Arum sees it too, apparently, because he's trying to do it too. So anyhow, that's all we're going to say about that. And that's the weekend wrap for this week. Thanks for tuning in. boxingforreal@gmail.com. Email us, send us any questions. We'll try to answer them all. We can't promise